Hi guys, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well. You know me, I'm Tom. Let's have a little conversation about S.H.T.F situations, okay? The reason I'm going to do this video is because I've told you on many other videos about Mother Nature. When shit hits the fan, it doesn't necessarily have to be a man-made event. Something that is like, you know, a military invasion, you know, EMTs, you know, nuclear war, you know, these type of events that we all seem to, you know, be focused on. You know, North Korea and, you know, anything that's going on in the Middle East. These are not the most immediate threats that I feel, in my opinion, are things that we have to prepare for. Of course, I'm here at the off-grid farm and the little house. Okay? Now, I had the day off because I've got all next week booked solid from Monday all the way through to probably about a week and a half on another big upfit job. And I wanted to come up and check in on the tractor and over at JR's. And from the first video, the video I just uploaded, you can see all the progress that's going on there. But let's get right immediately back to the topic, okay? I have created this whole environment, this off-grid living, this off-grid farm, this Plan B situation for a reason. And it's only because it's something I've always wanted, and I knew being prepared was something that in the back of my mind was just important to do one day. And we never know when disaster hits or a catastrophe or something that will change, drastically change your lives. Just uproot everything that you know, your life, your home, your job, your family, you know, the people that you know, your neighborhood, your surroundings. You just don't know what event. Something, a forest fire. Look at the fires in California right now. All the people that are suffering right now in Texas from the massive flood from the storm that they just got hit with, and the Louisiana Gulf states. Now we've got Irma coming across the Atlantic, a Category 5. A Category 5, 180 mile an hour winds, and it's brushing right along Puerto Rico and Cuba, and it's going to hit the Florida Keys, and it's going to make a sharp 90-degree turn and go straight up the coast. They don't know if this is going to be on the Gulf side, the Atlantic side, or they just don't know what's going to happen. They can't predict the path of this particular hurricane. Okay? So, the moral of this story is this, is that as many times as I told you guys, Mother Nature is the biggest threat, the biggest shit hits the fan event that can immediately impact your life and your family's lives. Okay? If you got small children, you know, young babies, you know, 1 or 2 cars, you live in the city, and a big, just like what's going on in Texas right now. Look what these people have to go through. My heart goes out to all the people in Texas. You know, their whole lives have been changed. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, it's almost like a bloody nuclear war. You know, it's an invasion, but it's an invasion for Mother Nature. So, the reason I do what I do is because Plan B to me has a lot of meaning. And the meaning is that I have an alternative place to go when I can predict, if I can predict it, a second location where at least I can hunker down, have a roof over my head, you know, supplies, and a means to somewhat have my life back in order. You know, some sort of normalcy, regardless if it is off-grid or not. Because the city could be affected. If the city gets affected, guess what happens? power, water, gasoline. Oh, already in the state of North Carolina, there's a bunch of gas stations right now that are out of gas. They can't get it because the supply lines have been disrupted. Now, when you start disrupting gas, power, food, water, isn't that a disaster? Won't that change your life? Doesn't that disrupt everything, the normal life that you have? You know, it will. It'll change everything. And you can't just run down to the store and go grab a loaf of bread and a gallon of milk and a thing of eggs and go home and cook it. You may not have any power. So most of you don't even have a generator. And if you have a generator, if you can't get gasoline or fuel, you're out of luck. You're shit out of luck. So, what I'm trying to get across to all of my viewers and subscribers and the people that watch my channel, you know, I always try to give you guys good advice. It's not what I expect you to do, but it just gives you ideas and information on possible scenarios. And the number one scenario I keep coming up with all the time with shit hits the fan is Mother Nature. Mother Nature will destroy your life if you let her. So, can 300 million people in the United States have an off-grid farm and, you know, a secondary plan B? No, because most people won't think ahead that far. They won't even consider it. You know, they think it's all foolishness. You know, oh, we preppers are crazy. No, we're not crazy. We're just trying to be smart. A little bit smarter than the average person out there that doesn't prepare for anything. The slightest hiccup in any part of your normal routine in your life turns into a complete disaster for your family. So, how do you avoid these types of disasters and disruptions in your life? It's called planning. Prepping is planning. If you go to Google and you key in prepper life, I control the video domain name of prepper life. Just Google prepper life and go down to the videos. And it's me in here in the off-grid farm in the off-grid house. Okay, the little house. I own all those videos. There's very few exceptions. So, when I tell you guys about being prepared, being self-efficient, having a plan B, having backup supplies, storage of food, storage of water, storage of gasoline, generators, a vehicle that's got four-wheel drive, weapons, all this stuff is because if you had a prolonged event where a city is shut down for more than a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and the U.S. federal government cannot go down there and assist, or they have such a large-scale disaster on their hands that no matter how much assistance they provide, half the population is going to be still without anything. And they have to literally pack up what they have left, and they've got to move somewhere else. And they're not sure where they go, where they have to go, where they can go, and you know what's going to lie ahead of them on this journey to some place that they have no resources, they have no family members, they don't have a secondary house, just not prepared. So they're really at the mercy of everybody else. That's what prepper life is all about, folks, is not being at the mercy of other people. Is being self-efficient and being self-sustaining and being able to have the ability to control your own destiny. I always try my best to give you the most positive information I can possibly give you based on my circumstances and in the world we live in today. Now, Whether you choose to take that advice or not is totally up to you. I can respect everybody's opinions. I really can. And when it comes right down to this type of scenario, I have thought long and hard about this for so many years that finally I've been able to put this all together. And the reason I put this together, because come Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, we're going to get, here in North Carolina, get hit by Irma. Okay? We don't know what that's going to bring. It's an uncertainty. It's an unknown. We can get, a lot of wind and rain, or we can get worse. We have had many big storms here in North Carolina. We've had tornadoes. We've had hurricanes hit about every 10 years. And it's disrupted the state. Okay? So, even in Lumberton, North Carolina, Robinson County, they're still dealing with the effects of Matthew. Last year, or the beginning of this year, with all the flooding. There's some towns that are still inaccessible. So, what I'm trying to get at here is this, folks. My channel is all about helping you guys. I had a phone call last night from Florida. Guy asked me how to successfully go about starting a power washing business. And he says, I'll split some profits with you. I said, I don't want any money from you. My information to you guys is free. Everything I do for you guys on this channel is free. I don't have no secondary motive. Like I said, you don't see captions going across, naked women in bikinis hanging out, no clickbait. None of that stuff is on my channel. My channel is straight to the point, it's raw, and it's real. Just like I am, I'm real. I'm a real human being. You guys reach out and talk to me all the time. You call me up. I get visitors. I get guests that come up here. I welcome everyone because I know that if I can make some sort of small impact in your lives and make it better, make your life better in some way, whether it's starting a small business or coming up and trying to start a plan B, initiating these type of, things like I've been doing up here on the off-grid farm, I want to help you. But if you don't want to be helped, I'll respect that. But one day, when something tragically happens that disrupts your life, you'll have gone back and said, oh God, I wish I would have listened to Tom. And I'm not saying I have all the answers to everything, because I don't. I'm not a 20-year veteran Delta Force guy, survivalist, sniper guy. I don't have a bunch of political connections where I can just pretty much get away with anything I want to. I'm just an average guy out there in the world trying to figure it out on my own. And so far, I think I've done pretty well. So, the moral of this story is here we go again. Mother Nature is about ready to reach out and touch all of us again. And I know right now in the Florida Keys, everybody's underwear is getting real tight down there. They're going down there and taking, the stores are already pretty much out of everything. Well, think about that for a while. If you depend on Big Brother to supply your life and your needs and, your food, your water, your gas, and all that stuff, and one morning you wake up and everything's closed, what the hell are you going to do? How are you going to provide for your family? How are you going to take care of them? How are you going to keep them safe? You can't. So, I want all of you from this day forward to start seriously thinking about your plan B and what it entails. What is it going to take for you to be able to not depend on the system? Okay? It's not trying to be smarter than everybody else. It's just being smart for yourself. Okay? Enough. All I want you to do is understand that we all have a responsibility to ourselves and our family first. If we can help a neighbor, great. But you know what? Ultimately, you're the one that needs to survive. Because you're the only one that has to deal with the reality of your world. And if you're not willing to do that, then you sir, ma'am, boys and girls are nothing but victims. And I don't want you to become a victim. I am going to take some precautionary steps with Irma coming up on Sunday and Monday. I may come up here and stay. But you know, it all boils down to what I see on the weather forecast. But I'm telling you, Mother Nature is a bad, bad girl. Okay? She will disrupt your world and tear it apart. So, please, everyone, stay safe. Stay tuned while we all ride out this next hurricane coming our way. While Texas is dealing with all the flooding, the Gulf states, and now Florida, Cuba, Puerto Rico, and it never ends. It never ends. Thumbs up, leave those comments, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, send a link to your friends. Tom, out of here on another video. I'll catch you guys later and keep you updated on what's going on throughout the next few days as Irma approaches North Carolina. Y'all have a blessed day.